Hello, beautiful souls. It's Anna T. Brooks here, your soul purpose activator, and welcome to this week's weekly Oracle card energy reading for this week, the 15th to the 21st of July 2024. Already halfway through July, here we are. So say hello when you do jump on, whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube. Make sure you do say hello. I'd love to hear from you, how you're feeling after last week. Last week was a big one. And yeah, we're going to jump into the weekly readings. So as always, I have the Oracle, the Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell. This is the one that we will be using for the main section. And then I have another deck that we're going to be using for the bonus cards towards the end of the reading. So I'll show that one afterwards. And yes, I have already taken some time and tuned in, shuffled the cards. So we're going to be good to start pulling the cards out. I will quickly run through what I'm going to be pulling out and also a little bit of my intuitive reading for the week of what's coming through just before I do pull the cards. So first and foremost, the feeling that I've had when I was just tuning in what kind of extra message wanted to come through for this week is very much that this is the week where kind of anything can happen. The energy feels very open. It feels very like it can go in any direction, right? That you kind of get to guide this very, very closely. There's less this week that I feel like is going to be happening kind of to you, less kind of things going on outside of you that might influence how things move forward. This feels like a kind of energy where it's like what you put out, what it is that you really focus on this week really has the potential for things to go in very different directions based on you and based on what you really want to focus on. And of course, this is the case always. We always have that ability. But this week, that energy just feels even more so. It just feels like everything's kind of up in the air. We can go in any direction. It's almost like a bit of a wild card energy, and I'm liking it. It's a calm wild card. It doesn't feel like a hectic one or one that's going to, make things really uncomfortable or conflicting or anything like that. It feels like a very gentle and very much needed wild card energy of like, yes, I need to believe in something great, something that I've been, like once in a blue moon type of thing. There's this sort of wild card energy going on. So that's what I've been feeling coming through. And I'm very curious to see what the cards have to say as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling, and we're going to pull 3 cards from this Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell. We're going to pull 3 cards to cover mind, body, soul this week. So the first card, the mind, is more of the mindset, conscious energies, the things you're going to be thinking about, things that you're going to be talking about, that sort of thing. The body is more of the physical and the tangible energy for the week. So maybe situations that might come up. It might be to do with you personally as well, your physical body and what's going on. So actual like physical results this week. And then the soul is more of that underlying energy. So what's happening behind the scenes, what's kind of brewing underneath that you might miss if you're not kind of paying attention, but it's still there regardless. So let's go ahead and start shuffling, and we will pick 3 cards. So first one for mindset. Oop, there it goes. That one's falling out. Excellent. And body. I'm set up in a slightly different place this week, which is why I'm like having to shuffle up here. Okay, we got the body one came out, and the soul. Let's see what... Oop, okay, nope, that's more than 1 card. All right, let's keep shuffling. There we go. Perfect. All right, we have our 3 cards. Let's see what the first one says. So this is number 1 for the mindset. We have, don't dim to fit in. Don't dim to fit in. And underneath there it says, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So this is telling me that this week you're going to be becoming more aware of where you have been maybe playing a bit small, where you haven't been really speaking up, where you haven't been completely true to what it is that you desire, what you really want to say, maybe what boundaries you do really want to put into place, what standards it is that you're really wanting to uphold, and also just not letting yourself express the way that you really, really want to. There's been a feeling maybe that you've been thinking about keeping yourself a little bit under wraps so that you don't maybe annoy someone or frustrate someone or make someone else feel bad, or just don't want to tread on anyone's toes. There's been that energy and of maybe trying to kind of push yourself down a little bit to not instigate anything from outside sources. But this week you're going to be really aware of those places where you have done that and how this is actually starting to impact your life in a really negative way. Because by all means, we don't need to go out of our way to hurt others or to make anyone else's life difficult, of course. However, at the expense of keeping ourselves small and of hiding our true light and our true love and our true passion and everything about us that wants to shine is not a fair trade, right? There's definitely times to prioritize different things in life, but I think you might be getting to that point this week where you're realizing, you know what, this has gone a little too far now. I do need to actually let myself come out, let myself show my true power, my true shine, and stop dimming myself in order to fit in or to not push away people or not to upset anyone. You're going to become aware of this and you're going to be thinking about it a lot more of, yep, I need to step up. I need to actually show my true self. This dimming myself, this hiding myself is not taking us anywhere. So that's the first card for mindset. The second card. So this is for the body. So this is more of the tangible, physical, what's happening in the physical world with you this week. And we have, Lemuria. Haven't had this one for quite a while. This is nice. We've got a different card popping up. It's a really, really beautiful image as well. Lemuria there. And it says, creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So the energy that I'm receiving from the card, and this applies to your physical world, to your tangible world, is that Lemuria is a lost land that was basically like heaven on earth. That's what it's saying. Like it was the ultimate bliss, right? And so this week, probably coinciding with that first card as well, I'm feeling with the, not dimming your light to fit in. You're being pulled to really start to change your life in terms of your tangible, your situation. So maybe your relationships, your home, your workplace, your activities, where you go, how you spend your day, the physical things in your life, actually where you are spending your time, to really start to curate them for something that really makes you feel at home, right? To really makes it feel not even just home, but your ideal home. So this week you might have opportunities pop up that, feel like they're kind of divinely timed, that they're coming up of like maybe a workplace change or a change in the workplace, or within your home or within your relationships, or something that feels like, oh, this would be ideal. This is exactly what I would prefer. This is something that I didn't even think was available, and it is now. So there's those opportunities this week for really physically changing your world into a way that is more ideal for you, that is more of your dream version, that is more of your highest self version. So if there's been parts of your life that you've been kind of settling and accepting that, okay, well, that's all it is, I'm just going to have to accept it, that this is how it is. This week, it's like those opportunities are coming up for you to make those shifts and to make those changes. And even when it's not outside forces bringing this, it's coming from within you, that you're realizing, you know what, I'm actually going to change this. This is in my power to change, right? I think it's the creed of like AA and NA, all of those kind of, the like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, etc. of, I'm going to butcher this completely, but it's something along the lines of, Lord, give me the strength to change what I can, the patience or something to know what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? And it's kind of like that. Like there's an understanding of what it is that you can change, what it is that you can't change, and to understand the difference, but to also really understand what is in your power to change, and you can change that, and you can change that for the positive this week. So that's what's coming through for that second card. And then let's see what we have for the third card. So this is for the soul. This is that underlying energy this week. What is happening? Ooh, okay. We haven't had this one in a while. No. It's a very, very bold card. Just no. It says underneath as well, wait, postpone, pause, say no. So there is something brewing underneath, something that it will be coming up for you that you might be feeling, you might be having dreams about it, you just might be sensing it, that you're having some sort of reaction of like, this is not the time. It can be a very visceral, very strong kind of no within you. There might be questions that are coming up for you and you're just getting a very strong answer from within of like, no, this is not what I want. This is not what I align with. This is not what I choose. Or you might be just starting to feel like if there was something that you've been wondering about, something that you've been maybe deciding on trying to make a decision on, to wait a little bit, right? And you'll know the difference. There's times when you're going to have a very visceral, very strong kind of instinct about something, and it's going to be just a straight up no, and you just have to trust that. And then there's going to be, for some of you as well, it's going to be more of a gentle sort of like, this is just not the right time. Just not right now. Maybe let's just postpone this. Maybe let's just check back in on this in a couple of weeks or in a month or something. No doesn't always mean no forever. It could just be not right now. And that's going to apply for some of you. So this is that underlying energy this week. And I feel like this will feed a little bit into those first two cards that we had as well, with the Don't Dim to Fit In and then Lemuria as well, as you're sort of beautifying your world, creating, changing your circumstances, changing your actual settings and your situations in life to be more aligned to you. And as you're kind of shedding what it is that you've maybe been pushing down to not to try to fit in, or to not try and stand out too much or be too much for other people, you're going to start to feel where your body is kind of underlyingly saying no to something. It's had enough. It's not going to put up with this anymore. Or some changes that you're thinking about, and you're just going to feel like, okay, yes, this feels like the right choice, but just not right now. Let's just recheck this in a couple of weeks. Let's just recheck this next month, and let's see where we feel, right? So that's going to be, something that's going to be popping up for some of you as well. So like I said at the start, I feel like there's so much potential. There's so much like a wild card energy, and that makes so much sense with these cards as well, because the deck itself is split into, I think, 4 or 5 different sections. So there's like activation cards, there's confirmation cards, all these different like kind of themes. All 3 cards this week are from different areas. We've got a very kind of action orientated, like Don't Dim to Fit In card. We've then got the very kind of deep, more soul searching Lemuria, lost lands, understanding like the subtext of that. And then we've got the very clear no card from the action cards. So it's a real wild card energy this week, and I'm very curious to see how this comes to pass for you. So please feel free, pop in any thoughts that you might be having, if you kind of already know what this might be relating to for you, or what you're going to focus on as well. It's always a good idea to set a bit of an intention about, okay, having this information, here's how I'm going to approach this, right? Because then as you go through the week, when these situations arise, you're like, oh, I know what's happening here. I know how I'm going to move forward. So that's a good way to work with the energy as well. All right, so let's jump in and do our bonus reading now. So this week I have chosen the Moonology Messages Oracle deck by Yasmin, Boland. That's this deck here, one of my newer ones. And so I'm going to be pulling 3 cards from here, and I will read from the guidebook as well to give you a bit more insight. So this is just basically like a bonus round. You get to pick one of the cards, or if you feel pulled to obviously more than one, that's fine as well. And this will just have a bit of an extra message really, really dialed in for you for this week. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and pick out. Oh, there we go. There goes card 1. Let's do card 2. And I will show them all so that you can just tune in and see which one feels aligned for you. This deck is a little bit tricky to shuffle, so I'll see how I go with it. Sometimes I do just need to pull it. Oh, nope, that one's coming out. Yes, perfect. And card number 3. Whoop, there we go. All right, perfect. We have our 3 cards. I guess the deck is starting to get a little easier. All right, so I'm going to hold these up, obviously not showing the card. What I want you to do is just take a deep breath, just try and feel yourself really solid wherever you are right now, whether it's in a seat or standing, whatever it is, get those feet on the ground. Take a deep breath and just tune in to see which card or cards really feel like they have a message for you. So card number 1. This is card number 1. They're very light, so it's like you can hardly see it. Card number 2. card number 2, and card number 3. This is number 3. All right, so take a moment, feel which one feels like it has that message for you, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal. So if you chose card number 1, this is your card. We have, intuition, moon maybe. Intuition, moon maybe. Let's have a read of this one. There we go. Okay. 9 times out of 10, this deck will give a straight answer, but sometimes you'll get this card. Perhaps a little frustratingly, it firmly informs you that there is no real need for you to ask your question because you already know the answer, at least deep down. So take a moment now to close your eyes and breathe. Turn inward. Feel your energetic body around you. What does your intuition tell you about your situation? Any feelings that come up now should feel neutral. True intuition isn't emotionally charged. When you draw this card, you're being asked to think less about logic and more about what you're feeling in your heart and gut. Your feelings will never misguide you. Some people consider intuition to be some kind of cosmic thing. The fact is, however, that it's not really cosmic, it's normal. Nearly all truly successful people know when their intuition is trying to tell them something and know to ignore their intuition at their peril. So dig deep before you try another card. What is your intuition telling you here? So it's all you. It's all you. What a reminder, right? So this is card number 1, if you chose this one. If you chose card number 2, here is your card. What do we have? Ooh, we have truth. Moon rising. Truth. Okay, let's read for this one. So there's no hiding when this card comes up. The truth is going to come out, or maybe it already has, but you still need to face up to it. As Buddha was reported to have said, 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. When this card comes up, the only thing to do is to be scrupulously honest with yourself. Face facts. Maybe you need to show your feelings a little more. Maybe there is a situation you need to be more honest about. Are you showing how you feel, or are you hiding? What is the truth of your situation? Are you being honest with yourself and everyone else? If you are, then this card is a positive omen, telling you everything is going to work out just fine because the truth is out. Will out. There is also a sense with this card that the truth will be exposed sooner rather than later, so it shouldn't be too long before the issue you're wrestling with will be resolved. But make sure you're absolutely transparent and truthful. So in case the word truth wasn't in that card, in that reading enough, I think you know what you need to focus on this week. Stick to the truth. Your truth, right? Your truth. And card number 3. So if you chose the 3rd card, we have focus. Moonbeam. Focus. I feel like this card looks even better on, this is like the only card I've ever seen, like all of the rays. It actually looks better on the screen than it does in person. That's never happened before. I'm very excited. Let's read this one. So if you chose card number 3, moonbeams, focus. There we go. Having big dreams is a wonderful thing, but drawing this card suggests you need to get more serious and focused when it comes to making your dreams come true. To paraphrase Thomas Edison, success is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. You're very much on the right track, but you need to hone your vision. Where should you begin? If you've been comparing yourself to other people, this card is a strong reminder that comparison is the thief of joy. You can only go at your own pace. If someone or something is causing you to be distracted from your sole purpose, this is the time to turn down the noise. You're being asked to make a bigger effort in terms of moving towards your goal. That may include having greater self-discipline and restraint. Always remember that success is very rarely linear. Even if you feel as though you're going round in circles, you're still inching towards your goals, but you do need to stay very focused right now. So that one is also very clear. I love how we have very different energy between these 3 cards here. But that one definitely very clear as well about the need to focus. And you can see how all of these cards, depending which one you felt most aligned for you, really fits in as well to just kind of accentuate parts of the main reading for the 3 cards that we had from the Work Your Light Oracle card deck. It's kind of like that energy still applies to you, but here's your angle, here's your little bit of extra something to add to it. So that finishes the reading for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do have any questions, please feel free to pop them in. I always do check back any comments and everything as well, and I take any feedback on board as well. And yeah, wishing you an amazing week ahead. If you have any questions about working with me, about having this kind of intuitive guidance as part of your journey, as part of your coaching, please feel free to reach out and we can have a chat about best options. And aside from that, I will leave it there. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. I'm really interested to see what these wild card energies have in store for you. And I will see you next week. Sending you so much love. Mwah.